Here are the announcements for March 2025. On March 4th, we will start our three-part series on the winter 1862 Union campaign in the West, starting with Fort Henry and Donelson, and then Shiloh. And in April, we're going to do a tour of some Springfield, Illinois Civil War sites. In May, we'll talk about Halleck's Siege of Corinth. On May 18th, we're going to do an outing in St. Charles County. On June 3rd, we'll hear the story of Jesse and John Fremont. In our meeting in July, we're going to talk about the history of the Missouri State Militia and the Enrolled Missouri Militia. In August, we'll have a presentation on the common soldier in the Civil War. In September, we'll have a presentation on the opening hostilities in South Carolina, Maryland, and Missouri. In October, we'll have a presentation on the Battle of Wilson's Creek, and then we're going to go on a battlefield tour of Wilson's Creek, and that's open to everyone. If you want to tag along, even if you haven't been a part of our normal meetings, you're welcome to come to any of these field trips. In November, we'll talk about Shelby's 1863 Missouri raid, and then in December, we'll have a Civil War themed movie. Let's talk a little bit more about what's coming up for the next 3 months. So this coming Tuesday, March 4th at 7 o'clock, we're going to talk about the Fort Henry and Fort Donelson campaign, really where Ulysses S. Grant started to make his reputation. And it was the first successful Union offensive of the war, and it really destroyed the Confederate defensive line in the West. Initially, the gunboats blasted Fort Henry into submission, and then Grant had to attack Fort Donelson on the Cumberland River, and that was a little bit of a more difficult fight there. And then Albert Sidney Johnston in April massed all the troops he could find and attacked the Union force at Shiloh Meeting House. So we're going to talk about that in April, and then in May we'll talk about how the Union forces went from Shiloh down to Corinth, Mississippi, which was a very strategically important railroad crossroads. In Springfield, Illinois, on April 26th and 27th, we're going to have an outing. Possible stops include the Presidential Library for Lincoln, Lincoln's home, the old state capitol, the Illinois Military Museum, Lincoln's Tomb, Camp Butler, and maybe even some other things. And on Sunday, May 18th, Doris Keevan Franke is going to lead an afternoon trip to some Civil War sites in St. Charles County, several of which we talked about in some of our presentations already. And then October 18th and 19th, Kent Fujiwara is going to give us a presentation on Wilson's Creek. And he'll be the guide during that tour. Hey, we've got a website, thanks to Doris. Here's the address, and here it looks great, fantastic. So please check that out. I want to give a little shout out to the Civil War Roundtable of St. Louis. They have a small group that meets informally, and the next meeting is on Thursday, March 6th at 11 at the Hearth Room Cafe at Lamp and Lantern Village in Town and Country. And then their main meeting is they usually meet on the first Thursday of the month, so that's when they're going to have it. Hey, other Civil War roundtables are part of a Civil War Roundtable Congress. You can check that out here. So Tuesday, March 4th, 7 p.m., Catherine Linneman Library, 2323 Elm Street. And we start our presentations at 7. Please come a little bit early and visit with us. About 6:30 or so, people will be there. The room will be open. We hope to see you. And we are not hard to get a hold of. So if you need to get a hold of us, you can email Doug, who's the leader of our group, at historynut with 2 T's at hotmail.com, or there's the cell phone number. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a YouTube page, obviously, because you're watching it now. And then there's our new website there, address. So plenty of ways to get a hold of us. So, hey, we hope you come see us this coming Tuesday, March 4th at 7. Thanks a lot, and thanks for watching.